All right, let's do this. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining. It's time for another exciting lightning talk. I'm Parag Katkar, your host for tonight. I'm the Senior Director of Enterprise Solutions at Enrhythm. We have a lot of exciting content lined up for you in the upcoming weeks. Our lightning talks are hosted every Thursday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And each week, one of our practice area consultants speak on the latest and greatest technology trends in the industry that will help you keep learning and growing in your career. And this week, Hamid Mahmood, who is an awesome iOS engineer with us, is going to give an overview of Apple's human interface guidelines. So the human interface guidelines offer in-depth information and UI resources for all of Apple's platforms. I personally am really interested in knowing how these guidelines would help designers design better apps. I'm also curious to know the best practices that developers should follow for implementing their features in their apps. All in all, I'm super excited about this talk. So without further ado, let's get it started, Amit.
Hi everyone. Today's lightning talk topic is human interface guidelines by Apple. I would start an overview. What we're going to cover today. First of all, there's going to be an introduction, then importance of human interface guidelines, impact on app users, and then finally usage and guidance. I would like to start from what exactly HIGs are by Apple officially. Human interface guidelines are nothing more than the software document given by Apple, fully distributed online on their site. Basically, those guidelines recommend you to make application interfaces intuitive, learnable, and consistent. The eventual and the last and the end goal for keeping HIGs in mind before having your implementations done is to just give your users, customers, a consistent experience across your platform, application, either it's MacBook-based application, iOS-based application, or even watchOS or tvOS. HIGs are basically covering iPhone, iPad, basically iOS, then watchOS. Almost, I think everybody uses Apple Watch. If not everybody, almost most of the people every day. Then macOS. Every one of us who uses MacBooks definitely have the Mac applications based on the MacBook that you download from App Store. Then tvOS, if anyone uses Apple TV in their homes, then the OS it uses is tvOS. All the applications being built on Apple's platform and running on all these Apple devices, they're totally based on HIGs when it comes to user interfaces, intuitiveness, user experience, customer experience, and more. First of all, why HIGs hold importance? The main end goal is that you have to deliver high quality apps to the app stores. So your customers can definitely stick on your apps and use them, provide positive feedback, and definitely get a consistent experience across the whole application, including all screens. It really helps you to get your app reviewed faster and quicker when it comes to the Apple app review. Apple app reviews are a bit strict comparatively Android. So if you deviate too much from HIGs, there is a chance that you may get your app rejected for that review turn, and then you have to resubmit your app for the Apple approval. It also helps engineering teams, developers, decision makers to know what your design is, what it should be, and what your customers want. Definitely, it saves a lot of time, a lot of money before you push your apps, before you implement your code and push your apps to the app stores. Impact on users and customers, how they're important for the end users. Those are definitely the main entities or stakeholders of the app. So ease of use is the first thing that every customer wants. So when you follow HIGs given by Apple, your app is more intuitive, great user experience. Eventually, definitely there is an ease of use for the customer. Increase in aesthetic integrity of your app, definitely 100%. That's true. Positive feedback eventually and high ratings that your app get if you have HIGs properly implemented for those Apple users who are very concerned about their user experience on Apple devices. It gives obviously a better control on app functions, what you click, how you click, buttons, steppers, table views, or anything, any UI component that user is interacting and performing any function on that component. Definitely, it's going to give a better control to the end user. Now, I would like to go through a couple of UI components that are very, very common. I got these from official Apple documentation, so you guys can know, like, these are simple. I'm not saying these are very customized. It's pretty simple, but the look and feel needs to be exactly the Apple want it to be in your apps. You can customize them. You can change the sizes of your icons, assets. You can use different colors, whatever the colors you want, based on your design decisions. But it's important to make sure that before the implementation, the look and feel of your application UI components should be close to the Apple interface guidelines. Navigation bars, very common. Almost every application has navigation bars. This is one example from the inbox of Apple's mailing application. Then search bars, pretty standard. Almost every app application is using pretty standard search bars. You can customize search bars. You can change icons. You can resize them. But if you observe most of the iOS applications, they will definitely have search bars built according to the human interface guidelines. iPad, bigger screen. They have proper guidelines for bigger screens too. You can see sidebars. They're different from because they have split views. They're different from the ones in the iPhone. But again, all the guidelines are there in the Apple's documentation that needs to be followed before creating sidebars. UI component tab bars. Almost everybody using iPhone go into their phone gallery and interact with the tab bar. It's pretty common. Everyone's iPhone has it. Then coming to alerts and actions, we deal with alerts and actions every day. I think if there's some error in the application, we will have an alert. If we need to cancel something, we would have an action need to perform on that. Coming to the code snippets, I'd like to minimize a little bit here, and I'm going to the code actually. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen. So if you look at this code, it's very simple to create a list. Now this list is a default list that Apple has recommended to be created as per its own design. It's not like you cannot edit this list. You cannot edit icons. You can do anything you want to do with the list, but the look and feel, the experience should be exactly similar to what Apple has recommended. And it's pretty, with developers' perspective, Swift UI gives Swift UI actually makes it very easy for the developers to create a list. It just takes 4 to 5 lines to create a list, give it a data source, and create a list in no time. Similarly, we have an alert, pretty simple, like the way I have showed you guys in screenshots. Pretty simple code, just 4 lines of the code that's actually creating alert. If I run the preview and click on what's my favorite TV show, it's going to give me an alert with a title, subtitle, and a cancel button. Pretty standard as per the Apple guidelines if you look into their documentation. So coming back to the next screen. Okay, so tab bar icons are the standard icons provided by Apple. You can change their colors, sizes based on what screens you're using, what type of device you guys are using. These can be changed before implementations by designers and can be enhanced and then implemented by developers in the applications. There are a complete set of guide and resources available by Apple. You can go to these links. And in no time you will have like all the guideline resources available online. Developers are highly recommended to go through HIDs at least once a year after WWDC, because WWDC is actually the time after that the Apple announcements comes out. So after that's the best time to go through this document, because this document is being constantly updated and revised by Apple. Yeah, pretty much it. Any questions?